Howdy Neighbors, David here. And today on Boondock Stallions, we're going to be talking about that 90s show and what's going to be going on with the cast of characters that are returning from that 70s show. But before we get started, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to pump out more content for us to argue about or be friends about on Facebook. Either way, I'm having a good time and I hope you're enjoying yourself too. So, that 70s show. Probably my favorite show ever growing up. There's actually a tie between it and Friends, but that 70s show is more my generation than Friends was. Friends is really for my older sisters, and we're such a tight-knit group that I ended up falling in love with their shows as well. So the two of them are kind of at a tie for me. But the fact that we're getting a revival for that 70s show in the form of that 90s show is very, very good. And there is an elephant in the room that we need to talk about. Before we do that, let's give a little disclaimer and talk about how we here at Boondock Stallions are very, very committed to the story and the characters and separating stories and characters, mostly characters, from the actors and actresses who portray them. Separating the art from the artist is more along with what I'm trying to say here, is because the elephant in the room is that Danny Masterson will not be returning to play Hyde in that 90s show due to his off-screen sexual assault charges keeping him out of the industry. I mean, yeah, that's legit. That checks out. So, having said that, what are we going to do with the Hyde character? Now, it's already there in the lore of the show what you could do with the character. Hyde himself, during his 18th birthday, was always contemplating what happens with his family members when they become of age. They are either ending up dead, drunk, or in prison. And these are the options that he has and only sees for himself. And it would really be awful of the show to kill him off because, like I said, no matter what you think of Danny Masterson, the character of Hyde is an integral part of the show. There is nothing but love and respect between Hyde's character and the foreman's character. They saw him as a surrogate son, and he saw them as the parents that he never had but desperately wanted. So to have them kill off the character, I think would be a disrespect to the character, no matter how you feel about the actor that plays him. So now we need a third option. Another option that doesn't put him in prison or dead or just drunk in a gutter somewhere. A way that is still shady and totally cohesive with the character's origins, but still respectful enough for the show and the history that we have with Hyde. And so, what I have for you is, what if Hyde and a woman, I'm getting to the woman here in a second, had a baby and then just ditched it, right? Let's look at Hyde's mother, played by Katie Segal in the very first season. What we know of Hyde's mother is she's very loose with her morals. She likes to drink and party and have a lot of random promiscuous sex with a lot of random guys that she meets wherever she may be, which is, I'm not judging, that's her life to live. But as it is, that's the type of person she was, and it didn't translate well to making her Hyde's best mother. And psychologically, Hyde would in fact seek out a partner like his own mother. And do we have another character in that 70s show universe that would in fact fill the place of Hyde's mother? We do. And her name is Laurie Foreman. That's right, the oldest Foreman child. Now, the actress Lisa Robin Kelly was let go from the role at the end of the 5th season for her inability to control her substance abuse problems, which later resulted in her overdosing and passing away due to it. And it's very sad, very upsetting. I loved that girl so much. I thought she was a great actress, brilliant talent, but they recast her in the 6th season because Laurie was part of a cliffhanger at the end of the 5th, so they needed the character there. They recast her with another actress. That actress wasn't wildly popular amongst the fans, so once they were done with her story, they just kind of wrote her off and she disappeared. But what if, in the time off, Laurie and Hyde had a baby, left it with the Foremans, and then just ran off the exact same way that Hyde's own parents did in season 4. Yeah, definitely season 4. It would fit with both Hyde and Laurie's character, and it would give Leia Foreman, which is Donna and Eric's daughter, and I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that Eric had to beg, plead, and grovel to name that girl Leia. But Leia Foreman goes to stay with her grandparents, and it would just be great if she had a cousin there that was half Hyde, half Laurie, all Foreman. It would be great. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Also, let's talk about some of the endings on the show. I'm not horribly a big fan of the Jackie Fez thing, and I know that Fez has been in love with Jackie since the first season, and he was always kind of flirting with her and all that. But, you know, Fez had a point when he said he'd been chasing this girl for years. She never showed him the slightest bit of interest, but now that she was down in the dumps and really, really at the lowest point in her life, she was ready to be like, yay, I love you too. Like, Fez was right to reject her when he did, and I don't think it should really hurt their friendship, because I truly believe that Jackie and Kelso should get back together and be married and have a kid, because that child would be ridiculously beautiful. Because, I mean, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are both ridiculously beautiful. It's insane. But I would like those two to have gotten back together. And the only reason that I want those two to get back together is not just because after 30 years of knowing each other, those two are still married and in love and a couple, but the only other relationship that I really, really liked for Jackie was with Hyde. As a matter of fact, during the time that she was with Hyde, during seasons 5 and 6, they were the best couple. They were a better couple than Donna and Eric were, and they really brought out the best in each other as a couple. And I was really upset when they split them apart and did what they did. But, you know, I'm not in charge of that 70s show, and I have no control over the creative process, so it is what it is. But now that they're coming back, they could take time to retcon a few things that didn't really go down well with fans the first time, if that makes sense. Are you excited to see this show? And like I said, everybody's due to come back with the exception of Lisa Robin Kelly and Danny Masterson. Are you excited that Tommy Chong is coming back to play Leo? That's going to be amazing. But once again, Leo and Hyde had a close personal relationship because he was also another surrogate father figure for Hyde. And this was one, unlike Red, that he didn't have to share with his best friend and their daughter. It was just his dad, his one person in his life, that one special connection. So, like I said, let me know what you think down in the comments. Be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.